Today I want to talk to you guys about strategy items because there's a couple things going on with them in MUT 26 where you can make either a lot of coin or get some insane attributes on a bunch of your MUT players to improve your squad for free. Let's jump on into it. Yo! What's going on, everybody? It's Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 26 Ultimate Team video. In this video, we're talking strategy items. There's some new ones in the game right now, and a lot of you maybe have heard about this, maybe some of you have not, but they provide some of the biggest boosts to your team right now, and they can make your team really good. There's also a great coin making opportunity. So let's start with how do you obtain strategy items, and then where do you go from there? Number one, Season 3 Field Pass went live last Wednesday, and unfortunately EA made the decision yet again to allow people to purchase the entire Field Pass on day one. I don't agree with this. I'm not a fan of it. I will never buy Field Pass levels. You just will never catch me doing that. But if you wanted to, you could spend $300-$400 and purchase the entire Field Pass. And the reason that people are doing it mostly is because they are MCS competitors. They're playing these tournaments for high amounts of money, so I totally understand why they would do it. If you're just an average player, you definitely should not be doing that. But going through and buying these levels is doing one of two things. Number one, people are able to get the 91 and 92 overall upgrade tokens, which means they can fully max out a Season 3 player right now, and that along with 32, all 32 Team Chems these cards have, Crystal Boost, Steam Team Boost, Promo Boost. You're seeing people like 95 Speed Cooper Cup, and some of the other cards are really, really OP. Jesse Bates is another one. But strategy item wise, there is at the end of the Field Pass level 50 specifically an epic strategy item where you're going to get 5 random options and you get to pick one of those 5. So for the most part, this is something we all have to look forward to, and I can't wait to get there. If you're not spending money, we're obviously going to be a very long ways away from that. I think this Field Pass is going to end somewhere around December 3rd or December 4th, so we'll probably be able to get to it if you're just consistently doing your dailies, your weeklies, and your program objectives. We'll probably be able to get to it towards the end of November. And if you want an idea of what those strategy items are, you go to the catalog, use the filters on the left, strategy and epic, and you can see the boosts that they provide. So you got like ×4 on the theme team ones. Obviously, the Raiders right now have the best theme team in the game. This one's going for 3.2 million coins. You look at some of the other ones available, basically 2 million coins and up. So spending all that money to buy the Field Pass and, get the 92 overall Season 3 player right away is cool and all, but people are doing it, obviously, to make their team better, but also to make a lot of coin because people are out here spending ridiculous amounts of coin on a strategy item. And, again, you'll never catch me doing that, but that's one of the things. That's not really the main thing that I want to focus on in this video. I want to focus on the blue strategy items. If we go back over to the Season 3 Field Pass, level 12 specifically, if you purchase the Premium Pass, which to me in this instance is 100% worth it, for about $15, you're getting a bunch of instant rewards, like a pack that might give you a 90 overall B&D player. I got Randy Moss out of mine when I opened it up. Because you get extra level rewards at every single level, you're getting a lot more season tickets, more upgrade tokens for your Season 3 players, and you get additional free rewards at the end of every level. You're not going to find, for the $15 spent on a Premium Pass, better value in a pack that costs $25 in the store. So just always keep that in mind. But at level 12, you get a rare strategy item fantasy pack where there's going to be 10 different options. You get to pick one of them. Now, you're not going to become rich off of this because the good ones sell for about 45, I think 45, maybe all the way up to 60K, which is cool. But the way that EA changed strategy items this year is you can now use one at the quarterback position, halfback, wide receiver, tight end is all grouped together, O-line, D-line, linebackers, secondary are different groups that have individual strategy items that can impact them. There's also strategy items out there that impact the entire defense. I don't know if there's one that gives you the entire offense, but these things are really powerful. So you can get a couple of them throughout the Season 3 Field Pass, but there's also a way to get these for free, and it all boils down, the starting point at least, is doing your daily objectives. These are really important. You get XP for them to level up the Field Pass, but every day that you do all 3 objectives, you get a coin quick sell, and I actually pulled a 75K daily coin quick sell the other day live on stream. I pulled a 50K earlier in the year, so these can be randomly good for you, but also completing your 3 dailies gives you a random strategy item every day, and for the most part, you're either going to get a silver or a green strategy item, which at face value don't have a ton of good value, but I have actually pulled a blue one out of the daily recently. But there's going to be a way that you can roll these up to the better strategy items to either make coin or improve your squad, and of course, we're going to show you how to do that. At the very end of this process, we're going to come back to this brand new rare strategy item exchange set, which to my knowledge, really the only way you can find it is just go to item sets and look at the very top left. It's going to be the first one there as of right now, but we're going to come back to that one. We want to go over to item sets, use our program filter, and actually go to core, and then you're going to scroll all the way down here to the bottom, and at the starting point, you're going to be looking for the uncommon strategy item. So these are going to take 5 silvers, which are pretty frequently popping out of those packs, and putting those 5 silvers into the set is going to give you 1 green. Now, if you get a lot of greens from doing your dailies, that's a W, but ultimately this is what I would like to say, and many people in the community would say, rolling your strategy items upward. So if you take your 5 silvers and convert them over to 1 green, the next step is to take those greens and convert them over to blues, and you're going to do that by going to the rare strategy item set. So for every 2 greens that you have, that's going to equal 1 blue. So I have this +2 to awareness on the O-line, and +2 to zone coverage on linebackers. These are actually 2 green strategy items that I had been using on my team prior to Season 3 and this kind of new method, if you will, going live. I no longer need these. So when you put 2 greens into the set, in return, you're going to get 1 blue. And for the most part, when you do this particular set that I'm doing right now, and it looks like in this instance it wasn't broken, so let me try doing it one more time, and there could be a world where EA maybe fixed this, and I was just unaware of this, but it was giving people broken strategy items. And what I mean by that is that you got a blue strategy item that didn't have any like artwork in the very middle of it. So now I seem to only be getting team strategy items. Let's go ahead and try it one more time here and see what happens. And if these aren't broken anymore, that's perfectly fine. That wasn't really part of the strategy that we were using, but I will show you a way to go ahead and use those broken items. Again, another team one. So I'm gonna guess right now that EA maybe fixed it. We'll try for a 4th and final time, and then I can go to my binder and show you exactly what I'm talking about with the broken items if you are unaware. Again, another team strategy item. So EA probably fixed this one, but what I mean by this is if you did that set prior to what I'm assuming was a fix, you probably got a bunch of strategy items that look like this, where they didn't have any artwork in the middle, you couldn't equip them, and in this specific instance, some of them were actually returning B&D strategy items, which do hold a quick sell value of 20k, so it's not the end of the world here, but with the B&D ones, you pretty much can't do anything with them. So either EA's gonna fix this, or I'm just gonna have to take the 20k. Either way, it doesn't really matter to me. But if you have the broken strategy items that are not B&D, or if you have regular ones like the ones I just pulled, and I guess I'll have to retract the second half of what I just said there a moment, because it's not going to let me put those 4 different ones that I just pulled into the set. So let me revert back to what I said here. If you have any of those broken strategy items that don't have any type of artwork in the middle of them, and they are also not B&D, this is the set that you want to put them in, the rare strategy item wildcard set. This one actually returns to you a pack that gives you your choice of 5 different strategy items. So next, I'm now showing you all of the strategy items that I have, and a lot of them came from that very set that I just showed you, where I was rolling my silvers to greens, greens to blues, and I got a bunch of the broken blue strategy items. I put them into that set, and in return, these are some of the things that I ended up with. And I also want to show you my team before we get out of here and the impact that these items are having. But you can see some of them are really good. +4 throw power to your quarterbacks. There's one that I have on defense that I mentioned earlier. This one gives you +1 zone, man, tackle, and hit power to the entire defense. We're talking linebackers, safeties, cornerbacks, even D linemen. There's specialist strategy items out there like +4 to kick power, +2 to kick power and kick accuracy. And if you look at the pricing on some of these, they're not incredibly unaffordable for most people, but they have more value than the quick sell value. So I could sell this one because I have the +4 kick power one. I could sell this and get 35K back from it. You look at this one that impacts the entire defense. I'm not going to sell it because I'm using it. But this one goes for about 40K on average. I know the one that gives you +4 to man coverage is another one that I'm currently using right now. I think this one I actually paid for instead of buying or getting it through an upgrade there. No, actually I did get it a pack. Get it out of a pack. I think I bought the kick power one instead. But this one goes for 40 to 45K. So if you have those broken strategy items, this is a way to turn them into coin or really good strategy items that will improve your team. So either route, you can't really lose. Also, if you happen to have these team strategy items, and right now, and we'll have a brand new No Money Spent, sorry, rewind that. We'll have a brand new Wallet Warriors series episode very soon. I changed my theme team over to Eagles Raiders. And if you have any of these ×3 Raiders, or not Raiders, but Team Chemistry upgrade tokens, they actually have an additional slot where if you spend 5 training, you can get one more boost on all of your Raiders, or if I had the Eagles one or any other team, you can get a boost of your choice. It does not have acceleration or speed, but for me, I utilize man coverage, so this one is giving me +1 man to any player that has Raiders team chemistry on my squad. So these things are really valuable right now and really, really powerful to improve the overall on not only your players, on the individual players on your team, but also obviously your total team overall. You can see right now I'm up to a 90, but between that and the most feared theme team boosts and in regular theme team boosts, you're probably wondering like how these people getting 92, 93, maybe even 94 overall players. A large portion of it is because of these brand new strategy items. I'm going to show you my whole team and how you activate those strategy items if you're unaware on how to do so. But there's a couple players I want to point out, specifically most feared Quinyon Mitchell. If you take a look at this card, and I don't like that this is a thing, I just want to be clear on that. I think we are rushing the attributes on these cards to a high point a little bit too early in the year. I mean, it's not even zero chill season. But if you take a look at this Quinyon Mitchell, we have him at 98 man coverage. It's not even November yet. It's the end of October, and you're looking at a +9 strategy item boost. Now, this is a culmination of a bunch of different things here. I got most feared theme team, most feared strategy item, Eagles theme team, the +4 to man coverage strategy item. I also have the one that gives you +1 to man zone, hit power, and whatever the other one is on the entire defense. But this card, you know, is pretty good. You take a look at the Trishan McCullum card, right? The free MCS player. He's not going to be impacted by the most feared theme team, but if you take a look at his attributes, we have him +7 on the man coverage side. So he's up to a 96 man, 90s speed, 85 zone. If I go back to that Sauce Gardner that I had over at the cornerback position, he's obviously going to be on the most feared theme team, but he doesn't meet a Raiders theme team or an Eagles theme team for me. And if you look at his attributes, we have him up to 98 man coverage, 91 zone, 91 speed. So I think you get the point here. These strategy items are insane. So when you get over to your lineup screen, if you go over to the left under chemistry and above rename team, you're looking at strategy items. And again, you get to put one of these in various positional groups. So with the +4 to throw power, you know, one of the biggest concerns I had about the Lamar Jackson card when I first saw him get revealed was the lack of throw power. Well, we don't really have to worry about that anymore because we now have him to 92 speed, 93 throw power because of the most feared strategy item and then that gunslinger strategy item that gives you +4 there. So again, you can see the impact that it's having on some of these cards. It's also probably why EA started to and probably will continue to. When you see these base level cards, you're going to see some of the attributes and say, this card is terrible. Well, EA's making it this way right now, probably because they outdid themselves by putting these strategy items in the game. I don't really understand the logic in doing this, but if you're a player, you got to take advantage of it, right? I don't like this. Again, I want to be clear about this. I think this is way too much, but they're out there, so you kind of got to use them. So wide receiver, tight end, halfback group, not really a big one here. +2 to mid route running, catching, spec catch, nothing crazy. O-line, we got +2 to pass block, and then the run block and pass block finesse. So that's going to impact and make our O-line look a little bit better. On the D-line, we got some boost to block shedding, impact blocking, and pursuit. Linebacker, this is where I actually use the entire defensive one. So when you select any one of these positional groups, it's going to give you the available strategy items to choose from. And the ones that I have right now, I could put this linebacker one in, but it's only going to impact the linebacker. So this is the spot where I'm using the one that impacts your entire defense, and it's making not only the linebackers, but cornerbacks, everybody better. And then if I go down to the secondary, again, +4 man coverage. We go to specialists. This is where we get the +4 to kick power. And then you have your team affinity strategy item, which is going to be your theme team booster. If you are unaware, not only does it, give me +1 man coverage, as I showed you a little while ago, to all of the Raiders players on my team, but it also gives you a ×3 to the Raiders chem. So the goal is to get to 20 or 50 to get that speed boost. This gives me 3 of that 20 I need, so it makes it a lot easier. And then you have your program one, which right now is most feared. This will get deactivated when most feared comes to an end. The breakouts promo is likely the next promo, so that'll kind of replace this one. It's not going to make most fear cards unusable. I know you're going to see that term thrown around a lot, but these cards are still going to be really, really good. It's just going to be their -1. They're really, really good right now. They're not going to be that much off. You're not going to notice a huge difference, but it looks a lot sexier when you look at the attributes and the lineup screen and all of that because of the +1 everywhere. One final thing to go over that I know people are doing, and it's something personally that I'm going to stay away from, so this one's going to be totally up to you. But if you go into the store, go to the Select Offers tab, there is a strategy item pack for 7,500 coins, and it says it's going to give you a random common or uncommon strategy item. I believe this one still is spitting out blue strategy items, which are considered rare. I don't know how often that's happening, but I know people are opening up this pack and hoping for the best. And of course, if you open it up and you don't get a blue, and I can't 100% confirm that blues are even in there, I just know that people are going through and opening up this pack. Of course, if you get a bunch of silvers or greens, you can go back over to the item sets that we showed you earlier. I'll open up one more just to see what happens here, but you can go over those item sets and you can take all of your silvers and roll them up to greens, and all of your greens and then roll them up to blues. Now, unfortunately, if that blue strategy item is not outputting the broken ones anymore, which I went 4 for 4 or maybe even 5 for 5 at getting team affinity strategy items, that portion of it could be broken. We'll give it one more try here since I pulled another green and see if we get yet another team strategy item. I suspect that we're going to, but we'll wait for the results here, and sure enough, we did. So it feels like this set is not broken anymore, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but on the flip side, if it's only giving you team strategy items right now, which it appears that it is, you're no longer going to be able to take advantage of this rare strategy item exchange set. If you do have the broken strategy items from over the weekend or prior to the weekend, and you just didn't know what to do with them, put them into this set ASAP, because you're going to get that fantasy pack that gives you 1 of 5 options, and you might get some of those good ones that you saw me equip on my team. And listen, if you got a good amount of coin, they're also probably worth going out there and spending 40, 45K on them because of the boost that they provide. It's going to impact your team and make your MUT squad a whole heck of a lot better on the theme team side of things, and just boosting up the general attributes based on their positional group. So I probably should have got to this video a couple days ago, but I think it's still going to be really helpful for you guys in team building and knowing what to do with that stuff that's sitting in your binder. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.